Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Pravin Carthic, and today I'll be unveiling the secrets of pioneering leadership in a multipolar world. Have you ever envisaged a world where leadership isn't just defined by how powerful you are, but by how you uplift others? A world where nations don't compete to dominate, but to inspire, create, care, and collaborate. What if, instead of a single superpower dictating the world's direction, we built a world where the collective strength of many nations each shared their own unique wisdoms and talents? Can you all imagine that? Now, may I request you all to close your eyes for a moment and picture this: a world where no single voice holds sway, but the voices of many nations shape the future. The future where India, our India, is not merely a participant but a pioneer in this new collaborative order, a leader who doesn't just lead through force but through compassion, creativity, and a profound sense of responsibility towards humanity. What kind of world could we build if we came together not to overpower but to uplift? Yes, we have all heard about India's economic growth, its identity as the world's largest democracy, and its military achievements. As important as they are, let me ask you something. Are they the truest measures of our strength? Is India's future really just about raw power, or could it be something much deeper, something much more dynamic? I believe and I know that India's rise as a multipolar power has three key factors to it. And these factors, they're already within us. They are the energy of our youth, fueling innovation and technology, the soft power of our ancient wisdom, helping the world build a framework of holistic well being, and the bold vision of our space exploration, not to conquer but to protect. Let's begin by diving into the first of these pillars: youth led tech diplomacy, a generation of problem solvers. We all know that India has one of the youngest populations in the world. But what does this really mean for us? Is it just another statistic to throw around, or could it mean something much more transformative? Well, what if we tapped into this energy and realized that it isn't just potential, but also actual power, the power to shape the future? What if we tapped into this and built a future where we could change the world as youth? Now, what if young minds across the nations decided to come together, not just to dream about a better future, but also actively build it? Now, imagine this: a 12-year-old from Chennai who has designed an app which helps farmers track the growth of their crops. How many lives could he feed? How many people could he save? Now, imagine a 14-year-old girl from Delhi who has built a system that monitors water levels in flood prone areas. Think of the thousands of lives that she could save just by giving an early warning. Now, even imagine a 17-year-old from a remote village who has developed a drone that can help send urgent life saving medicines to what would otherwise be unreachable area. How many lives could they change? Now, these aren't just isolated success stories. They represent something far bigger. They are the new diplomats of our world. But what kind of diplomacy do they practice? Is it diplomacy in the conventional sense of borders and negotiations? No. It's something that's much more powerful, something much more profound. It's the diplomacy of ideas, of technology, and of solutions. So, what if our diplomacy wasn't just shaped by politics, but by collaboration and inspiration? What kind of world could we build if we tackled problems not through force, but through creativity? Now, here's a personal story that I think reflects this spirit. A few months back, me and my friends decided to create a project to solve one of the most dangerous problems in the world: landmines. They cause thousands of fatalities each year. We created a robot that detected these landmines and could neutralize them using a simple yet highly effective catapult system. What started as just a small hobby project now turned into a project that could save lives across the globe. And guess what? We were even granted a patent for this project. So imagine if we took on challenges like this. If not just each person or young person in the world did this, but everyone. Now, Now, we all know that we have the tools, the internet, free knowledge, and resources from across the globe. We shouldn't wait for someone to tell us what to do. We should take action and we should do it now. We can create ripples through society by freeing us from the limitations of the past, where we can build a future and transform the world as we know it. As Malala Yousafzai famously said, one child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world. Now, let's go to the other side of the spectrum, to a much softer power. When I ask you all about India's soft power and ancient wisdom, what comes to your mind? Yoga, am I right? How many of you think it's yoga? Could you please raise your hands? You all are correct. Yoga is one of India's greatest gifts to the world. But let me tell you all this. It isn't all that we have to offer. India has so much more. We have entire frameworks of holistic well being from our ancient wisdom. So, what if we didn't just help shape better bodies, but also better nations? What if we didn't just export yoga instructors to the world, but also helped governments integrate policies about mindfulness? Imagine workplaces uh, where your profits are as important as mindfulness and mental well being, or even schools where mental well being is no longer just an extracurricular, but it is interwoven within the very fabric of education itself. A world where hospitals didn't just treat diseases but also promoted balance, where Ayurveda and modern medicine worked hand in hand. Just envision this future. Let's not forget Indian classical music. Music isn't just entertainment, it's a method to balance our mind and our soul. I personally learn Carnatic music and it brings me lots of tranquility and sanity in this fast paced world. So, the same way as yoga heals the body, music soothes the mind as it has an unparalleled ability to heal, to calm, and to inspire. The vision of holistic diplomacy isn't just a far fetched dream anymore. The foundations of it have already been laid by the Indian National Education Policy (NEP) since the year 2020. As Maya Angelou famously said, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. This reflects India's soft power and well being isn't just about practices, but about the way we influence global consciousness towards them. Now, let's move to a topic that's much closer to my heart: space science. We all know about India's many expeditions in space, the Mars Orbiter mission and Chandrayaan, just to name a few. India is also known for its frugal innovation, that is, doing more with less, as seen in the Mangalyaan mission, which costed less than a Hollywood blockbuster. Can you just think of that for a moment? Now, what if a true contribution to space science wasn't just about reaching new planets, but also about protecting them for the future generations? What if we had a much more profound impact in the world and could be a pioneer in space preservation, not just conquering? We all know about sustainability on Earth, but let's take it a step beyond, to the stars, to the cosmos. Many ideas can be implemented, such as completely reusable, zero waste generating rockets, along with extraterrestrial self sustaining habitats, such as greenhouses on the moon, that have hydroponics and renewable energy to power them. Of course, let's all understand this. Many people are already working on this across the globe. Personally, a few years back, I started a blog called Space for Humankind, where, with other avid space enthusiasts, I discussed about these very topics. These topics aren't just science fiction anymore, they're much closer to our reach than we think. Scientists predict that these could be possible in the near future. It's not as far as 100 years, it could just be about 10 to 12. Yes, that's correct. As Neil deGrasse Tyson noted, the most powerful thing you can do is be in a position of influence and then use it responsibly. This reflects how India isn't just about conquering new planets, but it's also about ensuring that we protect them for generations to come. So, here's where we are. We're on the brink of a new world, a world where we are a pioneer in sustainable space exploration, holistic diplomacy, and youth led tech diplomacy. But let me tell you all this. I believe in the power of small actions. The greatest movements in history didn't just start with governments, it started with people like you and me who dared to dream bigger, who believed in something much bigger than themselves and took that first step. That first step that inspired millions across the globe to join them. So, when you leave here today, ask yourself, how will I pioneer the leader within me? How will I change the world? Thank you.